I clicked the wrong button. You're live.
Oh, I'm live. Well, hello. How's everyone doing? Sorry for the delay. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So if everybody wants to grab a seat, I'll stop my testing music. So welcome to the Central Ohio GameDev group. This is our GameDev meetup. Thanks for everyone being able to make it out. We're here at Improving, downtown Columbus, right behind COGG, here around 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hello to those on live stream. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out. If you're not here, maybe in the future, watching this later, it'd be great to kind of catch up with everything happening in August. So feel free, for those of you who are on site, we have pizza out there if you want to grab any. There's a fridge with drinks and whatnot. Over here on my left, your right, there's our Wi-Fi access. For those of you who are new to the building, outside these doors on the left, down the hallway is the bathrooms on the left. You'll see those. But yeah, feel free to make yourself at home, come in and out as you need. Event. We have a couple of presentations today. For those of you who don't know what the GameDev meetup is, it's our event that we've always had since we've had COGG. It's just basically a catch-up of everything that's happened that month. It's a way for us to give you news, a way to figure out how to get connected with our different groups and events. So it's a great way to get kind of a little summary of what's happened throughout the entire month, and also what is to be expected next month as well. So we'll talk about what's coming up in our September month. So let's go and get moving. So we are on meetup.com for now. We may actually change somewhere else later, but for right now it works out okay. We have about 9 members on Discord, so we're a semi-small group, but we're still pretty steady. So that's a great way to meet up with us. That's what we like to call like our 24/7 opportunity to support you. So if you have questions throughout the week or want to get connected, we highly suggest you use Discord as a way to talk to us. We're on there a lot. We have our YouTube channel, which if you're on live stream, you're already here. And you'll see our Discord link there, but I'll show you how to get there through the website here in a sec. Our website is thecogg.com, so feel free to go there. We have games and news updates there, as well as other different kinds of events. So if I were to go into thecogg.com, you'll see this front page over here. At the very top right, you'll see our Discord channel, so that'll pop you up here in your channel. Just as a note for those of you, you'll start here. There'll be a little bit of a server guide that kind of runs you through a couple of questions. The big thing to note is we've been working pretty diligently the last couple of months to kind of help our security in Discord. So if you're familiar with Discord, you probably know there's tons of bots, tons of spam. We're trying to mitigate that as much as possible. Kayla's been helping out quite a bit. Some of our mods have been helping out quite a bit. We have a little bit of a process that basically asks, are you human? And that kind of helps to weed out a lot of that. So just feel free to answer some of those. It'll help us understand if you are, obviously legitimate, and help us make sure that when you go in there, you're not being pinged by a bunch of random information. If you do see something, obviously let us know. We are pretty quick to kind of help resolve those. But this is a great place to start because there's a lot of really great opportunities to see our different announcements. So you'll see here, there's all our announcements that we have, including how to do parking for this event, how to get into our different events coming up. You'll see our recording later today. Actually, this is right now, I think in some instance of recording, you'll start to see that. When you first start in, if you are new, please do the introduction, introduce yourself. It's a great way to find ways that we can help you. Say if you're an artist, or if you're a programmer, or you're someone just kind of interested in games in general. But down here, you'll see that there are opportunities for different resources, right? There's GameDev tools. So if you have something you want to share, feel free to add it there. There's different specific game engines you can kind of look into if you have specific questions. So things like Unreal, Unity 3D, Godot has been a popular one recently, and anything else that you may have, questions on. Say if you're working in, I don't know, some kind of like very specific retro game system or your own system. People make their own game engines. You can ask questions here as well. There is a game feedback section, so this is kind of where it's going to help you a little bit more. So there's a dev help. So if you have a very specific question, you can definitely start in our general channel, which is kind of where we see a lot of just information. But if you have a very specific question and you want to get more details on that and kind of get a back and forth conversation, we suggest you using the Dev Help channel. That's a great way to kind of pinpoint how to resolve your issue if you have questions. Please use the Share Your Games channel. So we try to showcase this every so often. This is a great place to see our updates. So if, say, you are starting up a game or you have a game on Steam or itch or whatever, and you want a home for us to help share that game to others in our community, use this as a way to create your post. So all you have to do is hit New Post. You'll be able to add a tag, like if it's an action game, adventure game, what have you. This is where you can kind of show those. And what happens as you update them, those different cards, if I were to see if I can move it out a little bit more, you'll see different cards as you go, and the newest stuff pops to the top. And so what we like to do periodically is showcase those. So if you have updates to your game, please do update them, even if they're on here, because they'll show to the top, and then we'll be able to kind of help share those as well. You'll see work in progress, so think of this as like your screenshot Saturdays. Some really cool stuff that you'll see, kind of like people posting random things about their game. They'll do updates here, just kind of a lot of fun stuff. Looks like Kaon added some UI stuff, which is really cool. He's working on a card game, so it's good to see updates there. So feel free to add periodically there. We have updated our job and collaboration channel. So if you're looking for opportunities to work, or if you have something you want to share as a way to work with, say you're looking for an artist or a musician, feel free to add those here. We updated this to be more forum card-like, so you can have more specific groups of what you want to talk about. So say if you're, like I have 1 or 2 or 3 jobs that I want to post, you can say, hey, I just want to post those here. Then people can jump in those and see all the information they need about that position, right? Or if, say, you're looking for a position, and you say, I'm an artist, a musician, a programmer, I'm looking for these, here's my background, here's my information, or I'm looking for compensation or whatever, you can add that here as well. So you'll see the job posting guidelines at the top. So this will probably be edited as we go, but this is a general guidelines you should try to follow. And this will help you kind of give some information. By no means are we advocating that we're a recruiting company or anything like that. So these are just ad hoc, at your own disposal. We do suggest that if you are working with other people, to write down your guidelines. If you say, you want to work, one-on-one with other folks, please do consider, drawing up a contract, make sure that you understand if your shared work is being done, that you get compensated appropriately. But yeah, then you have, we'll have to archive this one, but the Game Jam shares is another great place to showcase. If you have game jams, so if you're not familiar with the Game Jam, or if you're familiar with hackathons, right, with the tech field, this is a great opportunity to kind of share different ways to create a game, say like over a weekend, right? Itch.io is a great place to showcase some games that you want to work on with other people. We actually have one coming up, which I'll talk a little bit here in a little bit with GDEX. But it's a great opportunity if you're wanting to get into games and you want to know what it's like. Game jams, we highly encourage you to try to use as a way to kind of get a little shortened version of what it means to make a game all the way through the publishing portion of it. So if you have one that you want to share, feel free to add them here. Then we have our community section. So there's a lot of, I'm just going to go through these quickly, but there's a lot of different variations. There's business talks. So if you have questions about starting up a studio, or if you're just trying to understand like what should I think about for building a business in games, this is a great place to start. External events. So if you have other events, looks like Abigail, you sent something out, unless you just kind of left. But yeah, if you have a game that's coming up or a game related event coming up, let us know. We'd be happy to share that. Shameless plugs is kind of like anything else. Like if you have something game related, like I know John, you post a lot of stuff here with your podcast, YouTube video on retro games.
Yeah,
so
this video just came up this weekend.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So feel free if you got stuff that you want to showcase. If you're doing a podcast or if you just want to do an announcement about your game, Shameless Plugs is there for that. We have a design channel for game design. We have an art channel, which is really cool. You have a lot of different updates. Looks like Liam's building some Transformer stuff, which is really cool, like more mech stuff. So he's working on his game. There's audio. So if you want to share your music or just kind of your interest in music and whatnot, feel free to use that. Hardware has been a really fun one recently. People are like adding in things like mods to different controllers or cartridges. So if you have stuff like that you want to share, feel free to do that. Random obviously is random stuff, so we don't really mind what's in here. The big thing that we say is just we try to be a kind of family supportive group, right? So don't just start putting a bunch of not safe for work stuff up there. We will definitely take that down, or our bots will. So, but for the most part, if you just want to share some cool stuff that you think is funny, some game memes and stuff like that, feel free to do so. Music, if you got some music that you're jamming while you're developing, you can do that here. Game social time, so if you want to play like Mecha Chameleon or something like that with your friends and you want a bunch of people coming in to play, feel free to do that. Maybe we can get a group started. It'll be a lot of fun. And obviously the very most important channel is pets. So if you have your pets, like I know Dave's like shows his bird all the time. I sometimes shows my cat. We have some dogs in here, so a lot of fun there. Now, as a kind of note to our events coming up, we have a event called Prototype and Play. Last couple of months we've been doing it online. If we do the Prototype and Play online, which is a way to kind of share your games with the community, kind of like in a curated way, right? You will actually start here in Prototype and Play. So this is kind of our lobby room, and you'll see that this month we had a couple of different game projects that we went through down the line. Basically, we start here at this channel, and then we go down and say Quick Punch KO. They'll showcase their game on Discord. They'll have a text channel. They'll have a voice channel that we go through and talk about it and give them feedback. So, but yeah, so that's most of the Discord stuff. I know some of you are new, so I kind of wanted to go a little bit more depth today, but definitely encourage you to try this because this is a lot of really good resources we hope is valuable for you. And then you can always ping us anytime, like I said, up here in the welcome screen. You'll see all our names. I'm Wesley. This is Caleb. Tony's also on there, and Tom is also on there as well. You can ping us anytime if you have questions. Cool. So now, our events coming up. So this is our August events. Sorry. You know what? I always do this, and I don't know why. What I meant to say is these are September. We're doing it live. Okay, September events. So obviously we're a collection of game developers and supporters. So we help to collaborate with other local groups like CCAD, Columbus State, OSU. They have game groups. We also have sister sites like our Cleveland Game Developers group. So if you're in Cleveland, it's a great group. There's the IGDA chapter, which is a International Game Developer Association, which is they usually try to have a chapter in each state. So ours is in Cincinnati, so it's a great group to go there too. There's a new one in Gym City. Game developers, they're kind of closer to Dayton, and so we always try to collaborate with them. And our events coming up for our group is the Prototype and Play. So we do Prototype and Play in person every 3 months, so kind of like the first quarter of the month. So our next one coming up in September is at Game Arena. So that's going to be our esports facility we go to. It's right over there by the Gateway Film Center, kind of like off of High Street near Lane Avenue. That's a really great one to go to. We encourage everyone to go to these when they are in person. Otherwise, they're online, like I mentioned, in Discord. That's going to be September 11th from 6 to 9 p.m. So we usually have a little bit of snacks there. They have a bar at the bottom. You can get water and, obviously alcoholic beverages. Other snacks, obviously, too. They have tacos and French fries and nachos and stuff. So kind of like a little bit of bar food. But it's good stuff. And then basically you'll go there. Whatever you want to bring, right? If you want to bring a laptop, if you want to bring, I've seen people bring in VR systems, the tabletop games, card games, all that good stuff, board games, bring it all. We have like the catwalk at the top that we go to. So we'll have a lot of different tables and connections up there. So all night long, basically you have people come by, give you feedback, get connected with folks. It's a great way to get to meet other people in person too. Also in September, we have this event again, the GameDev Meetup. We're anticipating it being the fourth Sunday of the month, so September 27th. Again, same time, around 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So we're anticipating to be here, but like I've got to talk to Kyle to make sure that's okay and everything's good there. Otherwise, what we try to do is a community spotlight. All that means is if you have something you want us to help promote with you, right? If you have a game that you're releasing, or if you have, like John has, your project that you're always, your YouTube channel that you're always sending out, we try to advertise them where we can, right? So if you have something we can help you with, let us know. We'll try to do a spotlight for you and share it during these events, or, you know, online someplace, or social media, however we can help. So I'm going to get to today's stuff real quick, but before I do, I wanted to let you all know that GDEX is slowly coming upon us. So we are starting to see a lot of new things coming into fruition with this event. So if you're not familiar with GDEX, it's our Game Developer Expo for the Midwest. It's a pretty big event. It's we have our summer sale actually ending as of tomorrow. So if you want to get the best deals for tickets, be sure to grab them today or tomorrow. And then you'll see that it starts October 15th through the 18th. We're going to be at the Cherry Valley Hotel. So it's a new location just right outside of Columbus, over on the east side. It's a gorgeous venue. It's got a lot of like cool like walking parks areas on the outside. The big thing I always tell folks about this versus last year, which we were at the convention center, is that parking's free. So it's just like a hotel. You can park where there's spots. So that's a good one. That's at least $75 to $100 off. So if that's your incentive, that's good too. If you are interested in showcasing there, right, we have independent student experimentals, smaller booths. We have big 10x10 booths. We have all kinds of double booths. You can hit the supply button up here, and you'll see all your ways to come in as an exhibitor. So over here on the left side, you'll see that it'll drop you down here, and you'll see the application here and all the statistics of what the costs and what you'll get with the booths. So it should be pretty easy to find if what is valuable for you and what makes sense. The other thing I was noted about is if you feel like you have a presentation, a talk that you'd be interested in sharing, it sounds like they are still looking for speakers. They have some pretty good ones, but they're trying to round out what their curation of those speakers are. Please do, if you think you have anything and you just want to apply, click on the speakers and experiences, and that'll help us out quite a bit. Because if you have something like, hey, I thought this would be a cool talk on how to build game engines from scratch, right? Or, how do I showcase my game? Or I know Duke was sharing some stuff in our channel about how he applied for his game position and all the experience there. That could be a good talk. So whatever you think would be kind of nice, feel free to add that in there. We are also always looking for volunteers. So
Can I talk about this?
Yes, because you help out.
So I've been one of the lead volunteers for GX for a number of years now, and it's a ton of fun. Like it's always a great time getting together. Anybody in here volunteered at GX before? Anybody in here? Okay. Yeah, you don't count.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously.
Right. If you're interested, we have a great team of volunteers every year. We get together. We work really hard to help put on the show, and there's all kinds of different jobs that you can do. So there's a really wide selection if you don't necessarily feel comfortable handling money. There's plenty of other opportunities to do other kinds of things. So if you're interested, there are perks that come with volunteering. There's like ticket access and other things. A bright orange shirt usually is a part of the equation.
Yeah.
So we'd love to have you if you're interested. It's a great way to come and be a part of and experience GDEX. We're always looking for help. So
yeah. We can definitely use the help. And if you're ever familiar with like how volunteering works at other game expos, like you're talking about, PAX or whatnot, or IGDA, or game GDC or something like that, it's also a great way to meet other game developers. So if you want to make connections and networking, you get to work with them directly, or even help to showcase the talks and presentations with those panels that you're going to be a part of and helping out with. So, yep, it's a great opportunity there. And obviously, media, if you are interested in sharing media or being part of showcasing the event in some way, if you're a press or whatnot, obviously you can click here for media information too. All right. One last notice before we get started.
There was a question.
Oh, there's a question?
There's a question online about the GDEX Game Jam.
That's exactly what I was going to get into.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Good lineup. So Tom is another one of our COGG members. So he just let me know that they have made an announcement that the GDEX Game Jam number 7 is live for sign up. So it's going to be September 11th through the 20th. So this is a really great, like I was talking about before, game jams are a great way to kind of get connected to other game developers. Free of charge, there's no cost. It's all online, so it's a very, as we like to call, like a casual jam. Most game jams usually occur over the weekend, so like, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is over about a week and a half. So you'll see that if you go to thegdex.com/game jam, you should be able to see all your great information there to be able to sign up. I'm still pretty new to this as well, but I hope to be a part of the support on this. So basically what you'll do is there will be a themed involved. We'll showcase that at the beginning of I guess it's September 11th. And that's what your game will be about. Then we have as you'll see down here at the bottom right, it's powered by Jamio, which is our Discord bot that helps to set up your teams. So that Discord bot will actually go in. Either you can come in and say, hey, I already have a group of people I want to be a part of a team. That bot will help get you started. And basically it will create a text and audio channel in the Discord to be able to help you form your team. You can use that to kind of ideate your process and help to save like your project as you go. And then if you are not familiar with like, hey, I just want to come in and participate, then Jamio will be there to help guide you as they start to assign things as well. Tom and I will also be there to kind of help you too. It's not just going to be a bot the entire time, obviously. So we'll be there to kind of help throughout the week and help get you connected with a team, have any questions. Usually we try to poke in every so often to kind of give you feedback as you start to progress in your game so that you can get, you know, some understanding, how well is my game doing, or I'm getting stuck on this. We're there to kind of help you throughout the entire process. So it's a lot of fun. And what we do afterwards is we collect all the games at the end. We usually showcase them and kind of do a little bit of a judging session. So it's going to be with everybody in participating in that. They'll be there to kind of help judge each other, as well as we try to bring in some subject matter experts in the field of game development to kind of help judge along with us. And then we have a curated ending ceremony at the end where we show all the different ratings and kind of have like a best in show, for all of the different games, but also like in art and creativity and programming and aesthetics and all that good stuff too. There's a bunch of different categories that we showcase. So it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. I always have a great time there. And usually we try to grab all the games that we can, showcase them at the COGG group during GDEX, and just let everybody see what everybody worked on during that week. So, but yeah, if you have any questions about that, let me know. Or like I mentioned before, Tom is the one kind of helping curate this, so you can message him as well. He's up here in the welcome section, and you can learn more about that with him too. So anything else I might be missing, Caleb, that you can think of, or anybody else? Any announcements coming up, events that might be coming up September that anybody want to do a short shout out to before we go into presentations?
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
Regarding the GDEX, I saw something on the site like, yeah, we have a deal with the hotel there. Do you
know what the rates are? Because I couldn't find that.
So if there are rates, not less familiar with that. But what I can say is normally what we do, if you go to the front page, and this is the GDX. So the question is, are there any rates and discounts to the hotel? Most of the stuff is on the front page. So usually I've seen this where you go down to hotels. I know we have a lot in here. Oh yeah, forgot. There's a Saturday night party. So if you like parties, it's a really good one to go to as well as part of your participation. Here you go. So down here, you'll see the hotel information kind of closer to the bottom. So here is where you'll click on that. Please do the discount code below to get our modified rates. So that is where you'll go. Yeah, and I think it's included in the link. Yeah. So this is where I would go if you want the discounted rate. So good question about the hotels. Yeah, if you want the hotel, this is a great place to go.
Shout out.
Yeah.
26th, the Dayton folks are having a showcase there for indie developers. Show up because we want a big group.
Which one is this?
The Dayton group.
Oh, the Dayton
group.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the gym? Is that Gym City? Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, send that over, and I can even put that up on our meetup.
Like external events.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So that would be
I know. Try to keep them short. Yep, got it. I will try to re-advertise this as well. Yep. So good call out. Yeah, they're a great group. I've talked to the leader of that group before, and he's super great. So it's cool to see that it's growing. So yeah, definitely check them out. They're not too far away. Dayton, you could do an easy drive out there and meet some really cool people. So they're kind of part of this larger tech group, and then the Gem City game developers group is kind of like a group inside of that. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Really dig them. Any other announcements? Any other questions online? Nope. Okay, cool. Well, let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is actually showcase a video. I have someone that is always part of our share of GameDev meetups, showcases and whatnot. We have Drift, who has been making a lot of really cool games in Roblox. He's from Poland, so he's always trying to get in when he can. This is usually pretty late for him, so he's like, hey, I'll try to come in if I can, but if not, no big deal. But he's been making kind of a bus simulation game in Roblox that allows you to kind of get into a bus and explore basically the city of Poland, right? So he's got a couple places that he goes out and he literally either takes Google Maps screenshots or he goes out and takes photos of different locations, and he has different buses that you can go around and sometimes do different tasks like pick up deliveries and send them off to different locations. But it's really cool. So so I talked to him back and forth about different things. So he wanted me to show this and have you guys take a look. So let me see if I can play this for you.
Hello everybody, I'm Spalinode, here known as Drake. I'm the creator of Rosewood Studios, the group behind, for example, the Country of Rose or Rose of the Jura, on which we will focus on this presentation. So for this presentation I had spent like 3 hours for gathering the footage and all, and now as I'm editing this I found out that half of it got corrupted. I am really angry. So enjoy what I've recovered from all of this corrupted footage. So today we are starting off from the Zawiercie train station, to be precise from platform 2. Why the train station? Well, as I was recording this I was waiting for my friend and got bored, so I've just decided to do some train spotting, and that's all really. Here's a Pendolino, so this is like the fastest train in Poland. Yeah. Trains. Here's the beautiful PESA Dart in the PKP Intercity livery. So basically PKP Intercity is like government controlled, it's the main operator in Poland. Moving on, we have some beautiful post-communism flats in the center of the city. This part and almost every part of the game is work in progress, but yeah, you can see that this is the exact same spot, just there's some stuff missing. Here's another view of this. Also here you can see the centrum, which means the center. This is a shopping center, which, oh my god, does it look beautiful in game. It's one of my favorite buildings so far. Oh, guess where we are? Yeah, it's literally... So, the next part I won't do any commentary, I'll just do some comparisons of the Zegadłowicza Street. So yeah. Okay, so we have more blocks, more flats on the Kazimierza Pułaskiego Street. I know this name sounds surreal, but yeah, it's just another street name in Poland. So going back to the train station, I've just found this clip. For some really strange reason, I've train spotted a German cargo train on a railway line in a random city in Poland called Zawiercie. I have no idea why it was driving there, or I don't know what a train does. I think it drives. So yeah, it's weird. Also, the brakes were so loud on this thing. Oh my gosh. So continuing on the railway topic, here we have a railroad crossing on the Mostowa Street, which fun fact translates to bridges. There's no bridges on the street, so it doesn't make any sense. I found some cool street art on a garage or something like that. Behind these trees is the clinic, which from the clinic it's a real building. Wow, did you know? When you recreate a city, you have actual buildings that are actually there. So right now we are entering the district which is called Dzielnica Cudów. It's one of the most interesting ones in my opinion, because every building there looks almost the same. So in this district, one of the greatest Polish memes was recorded. I'll just show it. Many people refer to it as the Polish artillery, and I completely agree with that. So another jump. Here we have the Fiat Seicento, of course the Jura icon car, so yeah. And unfortunately that's where my footage ends. The rest of it got completely corrupted for some reason. So yeah, that's all that I wanted to show today. Thank you for watching and see you next one.
Just kind of creating new maps and whatnot. So he's always consistently trying to compare what's out there currently with what he can actually do in Roblox. He started from grabbing different assets within Roblox, like their own bus or whatnot. And now he's actually learning Blender, so like a 3D modeling tool. So he's starting to get into that. So it's really cool to see, like over the last year or so when he's been working with us, to see his skills kind of advance and move through. And he has very crunchy music. If you really like Initial D or something like that, he's got some really cool music. Cool. So that's kind of my spiel, as I'll showcase today with in support of. Next coming up, I don't know. Is it Kadeem? Are you here today? I'm not sure if you were able to make it or not. No. Okay. So we may have to put them down the line. But if they're not ready, then what we'll do, I guess, it was Pete's. Pete's not here either. Oh, he is? Okay. So he's... I see him. Yeah, you see if he's ready. It's no rush. Just tell him that the other person didn't show up, so if he wants to go early, if not. The other one is... obviously, Anthony. Wait. There you go. I must have copied it, missing a letter. But yeah, you'll be up after that. But just as a little bit of note, we will also, after this, when we're done with our presentations today, obviously you guys can come in and out and grab food as you need to, drinks as you need to. We will open it up for folks to kind of get to network with each other, kind of talk with each other. If you have something that you're sharing, feel free to use your table up here. If you want to showcase your project or whatnot, you can do so up at the front or at your desk. People can kind of talk to you as a presenter. Feel free to use that. And then I always do like kind of a question of the month. The question of this month is, what is your big hype game coming up? I know GTA 6 did their final showcase finally. So if there's something that you're looking forward to that you think is kind of cool coming up that you want to share and showcase, that could be an icebreaker conversation too. So, and then Kyle, did you have any questions or notes or anything else? Kyle is also our guide, our guru of improving. So just thank him for helping us out with being here today. Helped out with the pizza, helped out with, just kind of coordinating events with us. So, but yeah.
Just welcome to the improving office. We kind of do our best to kind of support the community, tech community, as well as the nonprofit community by just, sure. By just offering up our office space. I mean, we're not using it anyway, so why not come utilize it? You're also more than welcome to use the whole office. So afterwards, if you want to get together in the back, we've got a bunch of hoteling desks. Plug in, chat, code together, whatever. You're more than welcome to. Drink fridge is open. If you had a really bad week, it's in the upper left-hand cabinet. You are accountable for your own ride home. That's rule of thumb there. Bathrooms are just past the elevator. Just stay to the left. And then all I ask is do your best to kind of clean up after yourself. We will end up with ants if we're not cautious.
Yes.
So treat it respectfully, and we can keep doing this. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Kyle. Cool. All right. So then I didn't see our first presenter. So Pete, if you're ready, we could have you start if you want to. Pretty easy setup. So these are HDMI setup, mics here, cameras there, and yeah.
All right.
Watch while we need some sort of transition music.
The transitions and the music. The transitions. Let's see how we do this. We can do the same thing. I'll grab some coffee. Grab this chair. That's okay. HDMI was.
It's this gray one here at the end of the table there. It's right hanging off the corner there.
Yeah, the corner.
I don't know how much give it has.
Looks like it's trapped.
It is taped.
It's trapped. All right. Excuse me a second. I'll switch positions.
Oh yeah, sorry. I see.
You're gonna be fine without some power for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, what I'm going to share today is I'm going to share some controller gyro.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Peter Gordon.
Hi,
Ben. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Welcome everybody online too. Good to have you here. And what I'm going to share today is some controller magic and some open source stuff. So hopefully, I kind of want this to be interactive too. So as you have questions, we're going to go whatever direction you want to go. Okay, with this. But anybody worked with gyroscope controllers before? None. Anybody do? Awesome, one. Anybody controller like games in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You better raise your hand. 6, 7. Okay, so maybe like half the room or so like doing controller games. Good. Anybody get on the list for the Steam controller?
I actually have it.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right, you're the man. You're the man. So, the Steam controller was shipped with gyro, like scope in it. All right. So gyroscope is, I used to just refer to it as accelerometer, but it's a little bit more. And I'm going to describe kind of how it can maybe go into gameplay, right? And I'm going to describe like getting other like features of like game controllers like into gameplay. So when I say other features, what am I talking about? I'm talking about trackpads, right? On like the PlayStation DualSense or on the Steam controller with the 2 trackpads. All right. Any questions about what I just said? Please interrupt me and stop me, because I'm not up here just to like preach at you. I'm here to like kind of have some fun with controllers and some software. And I'm going to share kind of the open source software that I've been working on for the past few months, and it's up on GitHub. It's all going to be there, right? So stop me. If I'm saying something that doesn't make sense, you got questions, whatever. All right? Anything and everything.
Something I was curious about, I don't know if you'll touch upon it, is
Hit me.
that so there's a lot of first-party controllers that have gyroscope built in, but I'm curious about what are the third-party options there are out there that have built in.
What do you mean by first party versus third party?
So like you could take your Nintendo Joy-Cons,
Yeah.
and they have a gyroscope built in. I guess that's really the only example.
I mean, this one does too. PlayStation.
Okay.
PS5s.
I'm not too familiar with it.
So you mean by first party, you mean the like console controllers?
The console
Right on.
controllers,
Right
yeah.
on.
So
That's a great segue, dude. So the one we were just talking about, Steam controller, is also gyro, right? So it's not related directly to a console, although somebody could argue with me because the Steam machine just came out, I think about 3 weeks ago, something like that time frame. It became available. So Steam controller, DualSense. You mentioned Nintendo Joy-Cons. I have not messed with as much because I'm more into the kind of standard controller display. But this would be the Nintendo Switch Pro, right? To go with Nintendo. And then this. Anybody ever heard of GameSir? All right. So GameSir is like Chinese manufacturer that's kind of up and coming on the controller side, and most all their controllers like ship with gyroscope in it. So yeah, there you go. There's your answer on like kind of third party.
yeah, because at the time I was interested in seeing like, oh, is there a way to better simulate having like twin joysticks without having the whole heavy setup and gyro controls and whatnot. And I tried to find if there were like nunchuck or single-handed other controllers besides the Joy-Cons out of curiosity, and I just wasn't finding things out there, so I wasn't sure if anybody else found something. That's all.
Yeah.
I can actually quickly answer that. So, as far as like gyroscope and motion controls, honestly, most of the like modern gen console controllers have some capability with it. That said, where you're going to get the most effect out of it is actually with adaptive tech, which is kind of in a weird spot right now. So, at least from my experience working on accessibility design, adaptive tech is kind of weak on the Xbox right now because you're limited to the Xbox adaptive controller, which just doesn't have as good of gyroscope.
Is it, you're saying adaptive tech?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Xbox controllers don't, I think, ship with gyroscopes
Really?
at all. Yeah. Those are X input related, and they don't have gyroscopes. Yeah.
I do believe that there are attachments for like the adaptive controller that Xbox puts.
Oh, right, the giant rectangle thing you can plug up.
But they're not very good, and they don't integrate with a lot of games.
Okay.
Apparently, we just found out why.
Oh.
But adaptive tech from third parties almost always have some level of gyroscope control, or at least tolerable gyroscope control, because it is like an accessibility feature.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Okay, let me show you kind of what I've been working on. And first, I'll just kind of get your kind of feedback on that. So let me show you. Anybody familiar with HID? Right on. Human interface device. This guy, you know HID. So anybody, I talked about it once or twice. There is a library for like controllers, a C library called. Actually, I'm gonna get what's the freaking acronym? Somebody tell me. Like I'm gonna get the acronym wrong. SDL, SLD. Yes. Why am I blank on this?
SDL.
Is it SDL? I was about to say it. I didn't know if SDL or SLD. So there's a famous library for controller input, SDL3. This guy, right? And it's out on GitHub, and it's a C library, and it wraps, right? It stands for is it device layer? I think it is. This will tell me right here.
Direct media layer.
Direct media layer, yeah, because it was early with like direct media and like Xbox, and this is kind of the GOAT, right, of controller interface for game, right? In fact, anybody like familiar with Steam Input? You guys know Steam Input, right on? Okay, yeah. So Steam Input is a wrapper to SDL also, right? They use SDL in it, and we can talk about that a little bit too, and how that might not relate to HID. But HID is going a layer lower, right, than SDL. So there's a lot of libraries out there. There's a lot of tools out there. You can use SDL directly or that support SDL. Things like Steam Input, right? HID is human interface device, and this is the standard for what's called the either Bluetooth or USB reports, right, that get sent over the wire from the controller or wireless on Bluetooth's case, right? And those reports are going to communicate everything about that controller, like in the milliseconds that it takes, right? A lot of people are into latency too. There's a great like website called Gamepad LD, I think it is. Let's see if I can find it here. I think it's this. It like compares like latency of controllers. Gamepedia is not it. I'll have to find it again. This guy who like runs this site, like they test like the physical latency of individual controllers, like all of them. They're out there. And he's kind of open sourced, if you will, the ability to do that by giving people like these 3D printing devices that will actually like test the latency on devices. Meaning they will like use the trigger, right, over and over and over again to like test the latency of the milliseconds on a trigger. I'll find that for you too, or I can send it to you later. Anyway, that said, HID, human interface device, is the lower level USB, kind of USB Bluetooth kind of standard for it. And then there is also a library of web HID, all right? So web HID, any browser people in the room? Browser, okay, 2, 3, okay. So I'm an internet guy, right? So what does that mean? I tend to use JavaScript a lot, right? I tend to be, if you want to talk about WebAssembly, I could even push into that a little bit, but that's like pushing the limits, right? But I tend to be like browser is my platform. So Web HID is actually a library available in the browser to actually connect devices. So let me find, like I was looking for the documentation for it, and right here. So you can actually work with controllers in the browsers. All right, so let me show you like what I want to demo for you real quick. So this right here is just a website I have up here that I publish a build of my application to that allows you to do what's called a controller overlay, all right? And you can like download it here for Windows or Mac. And when you do, you will end up with this guy right here. And you can launch it here. Let's hook one of these guys up. You guys haven't seen the Steam controller, they do like a puck interface. So it's like USB to a puck. It can support up to 4 controllers simultaneously, right, on one puck. But that's the way they do their dongle, if you will, right? So let's have some fun with the Steam controller. You actually kind of see how it interrupts, like the mouse too. Anybody ever heard of like gyro aiming?
Yeah.
Yeah. How so? Where did you hear about it?
I mean, so you can, in like Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Switch, you could use your gyroscope. If I'm talking about the same thing, use the gyroscope to aim your bow and arrow. You draw it back and
First person
whatnot.
shooters. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, so this is actually, there's an entire gyro gaming community that really focuses on gyro gaming, right? So this has been like the big push, like the use of gyro has been around aiming. So in first person shooter, I can see my mouse moving around. That's actually gyro, right? So it's like this actually. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. This is yaw, I think it is. Yep. I got it right, right? So the yaw in the gyroscope is actually going left, right on my mouse. That is very fast for aiming in mouse. So the translation from between mouse aiming, right, first person shooters, and gyro aiming is kind of a big deal. It's like, it's pretty, I'm going to use the word close, but not quite close. It's much better than your stick interface, right, in terms of a controller. The reason I brought that up is just because that is probably why the Steam controller came with gyro. It's because of that community, right, around gyro aiming and first-person shooters. But this, what you're seeing here on the screen, is my Steam controller, right? So you are seeing me interact with that Steam controller, and let me say something. And this is what I call a controller overlay. Most people call it a controller overlay. It's kind of moving around the screen a little bit because I'm actually controlling the screen. So this is actually like, this is great. This is like the kind of scroll wheel, if you will, but it's me on the touchpad, right? Actually going up and down on it. There, I'm gonna like center it, try to bring it back a little bit more. But this is WebHID. Now, it's running a local Windows application. Anybody got any ideas like how it might work? Software is magic, always.
The question is Windows input like devices that it uses, how do you connect to that? Right? Because you can configure any input if you want to. So if you wanted like an arcade cabinet, there's a way to do that. But the question is, how are you doing it? Because it might need some sort of interface.
So I gave you guys a hint with the WebHID because I'm using WebHID here, okay. Right? Anybody have an idea about how I'm using WebHID? You can't answer. How I'm using WebHID?
I guess my expectation would be that you're mapping it to a mouse driver that says when I rotate the controller, I want you to, this is taken as mouse input with this much value.
Yeah, that would be like especially like with the SDL, right? That would be kind of the way to do it at a low level, like that C library, right? You're absolutely right on there. In this case, I've raised the abstraction though. Because I'm using WebHID, WebHID works within the context of a browser, right? So the question is, how is that a browser, first of all, that I'm looking at here? How many people say yes? 1, 2, 3. Anybody else say yes, it's a browser? It is absolutely a browser that you're looking at there, all right? And what it is it's what's called Electron. And Electron, anybody familiar with Electron? You nodded hard.
I've just seen like tons of people are using Electron for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and there's other ones. There's like a new Rust library that'll do it too, like a native library. It won't work with the WebHID stuff, but Electron's been around a while. Electron packages Node and Chromium browser together so that you can create a native executable. And that's what you're seeing here, right? So you got a native executable Windows file in this case, or I could like download it on my Mac, right, as an app on Mac OS. and run it there, but it's Electron packaged so that it's running natively. That's the controller relay. That's the gyro. The gyro is available through WebHID. My demo's done. Was that 10 minutes, 15 minutes? How long was that? Am I out of time? Any questions? Any comments? Oh, by the way, I'll show you the GitHub. It's all on open source if you like it, like to dig deeper. I know I kind of just shocked you all by like saying, "No, that's it. I'm done." I love that. Out on GitHub, you can get to what's called the Tandemonium controller overlay, or controller lab, actually, right here. Check it out. Download it. It publishes, when I make changes, it publishes out to that website that I was showing you, where you can actually download it and run it on Mac OS or on Windows, which is right there, kind of behind the controller. Yeah, questions, comments?
Yeah, so this overlay that you're showing,
Yeah,
it's running in a native Windows.
correct. It is a native Windows executable.
What is the use case for developers who would want to like implement this type of technology as far as
Great.
I'm making a game that's like able to be played on browser. How would I be able to use this technology to make player lives easier?
Oh, okay. Well, to make players' lives easier, which direction are you wanting to go? Are you wanting to go?
My brain immediately goes to like debugging and like visualizing the controller while setting your controls.
Yeah. So let me. I guess already running low on battery. I should plug in.
If you can help for the people online, like let them know what the question is.
Yeah. Yeah, I can repeat it back. Yeah. So there was a question about controller overlays and how they might be used, right, in a game environment to like add functionality to a game, make it better for the user experience or the gamer experience.
Like I can see why I would want to use it. I mean, like if this is running on a Windows app and not like if I'm playing a browser game, presumably I'm using whatever browser I already use day to day, right? So what does implementation for developers who want to use something like this?
So maybe I can give a little more context about why I even did this to begin with, right? I created this because it acts as an overlay on top of my game, which supports gyro, right? So let me show that real quick. Did I lose? Was I late?
I might not made it in time.
Oh man, that's not good. I might be able to show it on my Mac too. But so the reason I first created it was to be an overlay to a game running separately, right? That game uses gyro to as the primary interaction with the game. Okay, so in this case, see if I can kind of give that experience here, so you at least see it, if not fully. And it's published on Steam. It's called Tandemonium. And I can kind of maybe demonstrate it here as a browser game, and we'll see how this works if I can connect to it. So my game is tandem bike riding game that you balance the bike and steer the bike with the gyro, right? And so the demonstration, actually that's the best way I could show it to you. The demonstration of my game is benefited from seeing the controller overlay as you're playing the game, especially for streamers. And that's the primary use case for the controller overlay, is people that are streaming their use of games, right? Especially first-person shooters, gyro aiming, like they use this, I'm not like third-party 3D overlays a lot in their streaming of their games. That would be the primary use case. Secondary use case would be a game that's added, right, by seeing the controller. Other than that, I don't know. Other ideas?
Yeah, one of the use cases I could definitely see is just getting feedback on what your inputs are.
Mm-hmm.
Motion control games, at least historically, there's some inaccuracies of what your inputs really were. You can't really see that.
Yeah.
And so it gives you better feedback on, well, my motion didn't really give me the intended input.
Yeah.
Because when you press a button, you know what your exact input was. You need the motion control. Well, I did this motion, what did it actually receive it as? It gives you a little bit better feedback on what did I really do for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say similar. I don't know if this is as much of a problem with modern controllers as either the stick or gyro control drift. I guess you could see if it's spinning when you're not actually spinning the controller and things like that.
Yeah, like how far off. That's the wrong browser.
I think I missed one. I know why you use it, right? Like I can see what the use cases are. What I more need is how would I actually go about implementing it? It's running in its own separate application.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So
as a developer, not as
great question. Like the GitHub library that's out there that I mentioned, the Tandemonium Controller Lab is what it's called. It packages as a library that could be implemented in your game, actually, today. That library allows you to work with one or many controllers, including the gyro interface, in your game. So there are two primary interfaces in kind of coming from an internet perspective, a browser perspective. There are two primary interfaces, the web HID that I shared with you guys. There's another one called the Gamepad API. Gamepad API does not have gyro available to it, but it has a standard stick and buttons available to it. What it doesn't help you with is the ability to use multiple controllers, right? Or to interact with multiple controllers at once or allow multiple multiplayer games, right? And the library would help you do that. I didn't really create it for that other than for my own game and potentially to use it in my other games, like in the future, but it's absolutely there. Does that answer it? Yeah, cool. Any other questions coming? I'm going to show you one last little video just because I can't bring it up live, and I wanted you guys to see where is my history channel playlist? Watch now, your videos. Here we go. Just to show you some of the other kind of capabilities in it with this guy, I think here. And this is just showing quickly. I think this is the multiple controllers. This might not be what I intended. Yeah.
I think you might be extending the screen instead of duplicating the screen.
Oh, really? Oh, that's dumb. That doesn't help. Screen mirroring. Let's do that. Come on. Why is it not? Display settings. Come on.
How long have you been working on this?
So I've been working on the game and this for about 4 months, 5 months. Eric, how long have I been working on this? 4 months, 4 or 5 months, something like that. Why can I not freaking just mirror my screen? Display settings.
Can you drag the video?
Yeah, I can just drag it over. Just drag it over. Just drag it over. This is what I wanted to show you. Here. So yeah, I know it's not there yet. Sorry. Is it? Am I there?
Oh, there it comes.
Am I there almost? This is just showing some of the controls. Why is it like purple?
I don't know. Purple.
It's like super ugly, isn't it?
Is it HD?
You say ugly, I think it's cool.
Is that a feature?
So this is like every time we plug a Mac into the system here.
This is what I wanted to show you guys. It's these like smaller. I showed you like this guy like interacting with it. And I didn't show it to you, but it works with the PlayStation, like DualSense 2 and the Nintendo. But I wanted to show you these guys, these little controllers here that are also created. So this is just standard roll, right? This is kind of like a button-oriented controller, but the joysticks here actually kind of go out too. And then this is gyro in terms of percentages, which is the one that I'm actually probably the most proud of. But I wanted to show you that real quick just to let you know a little bit more what the tool does. These are all the settings and controls and whatever you can like tweak in there and how you can bring these like little controls out and such. But yeah, oh yeah, it has a green screen capability into it too, which is needed by streamers, right? When they're bringing, I know, purple, green, whatever.
If it helps, Pete,
Yeah.
your mirror and screen looks perfect.
Outside of your YouTube.
Okay, this.
YouTube, it looks great.
It's just these TVs. It's just these TVs. So glad you're enjoying it. Yeah. So that was it. I just want to show you the little controls with it. That's a controller overlay. It's all part of the same library. That's the end, I think. Thank you. Thank you. Come on. All right. Who's next?
Does it support other controllers or just the ones that you have loaded in there?
It will support. So it's a great question. So the GameSir. I'm going to answer in a kind of a little bit of a roundabout way. So the GameSir actually emulates either the DualShock or DualSense PlayStation controllers or the Nintendo, right? So this becomes one of these, right? Is how it's available. That is kind of the extent of controllers that are supported. Each of them have to have what's called that HID report defined for them. So as long as that's defined, we're good, right? But it has to be defined.
Do you know, like with the old Steam controller, does it do anything? It doesn't have its own Windows.
So I actually have one. I have an old Steam, like with the round tracks, right, on it. I have one at the house that I borrowed from a friend. When I saw that it was like, I can't remember, double A batteries on it, I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to support it, you know. But what's that?
I love those things. I got 3 of them.
Do you really? Yeah. It wouldn't take much. Yeah. The answer is that I have not tested the old Steam controller. It likely does not work like today. It would not take much to get it to work. But it would, when I say not much, it's like, you know, it's a day of working with it on the reports to get it to work, you know. And I actually was considering doing it and thought I was going to do it, but have not done it yet. Yeah. No, that's a good one. Other questions, comments, thoughts, anything?
Any latency issues?
What's that?
Do you have any latency issues?
You know what? I have not, in the controller overlay, I have not seen any as of yet, right? That's a good question. The guy, man, I wish I had it up there, like the Gamepad LD site or whatever that tests like control the latency for like people that are just fanatical about like whether or not the latency is working. But that's on the controller itself, right? That's no question on the overlay. So I'm gonna say uncertain, right? On that, like depending upon how detailed you want to get.
Could it be based
So it could definitely be based on the performance of your machine, right? So I mean, you're gonna have that no matter what. I would be less inclined to say that it's based on the browser, but only to the extent that the browser is based on memory, right? For the Chromium instance it's running in memory. Yeah, good question.
So all those controllers are what, paired Bluetooth to your laptop then? Okay.
Yeah, Bluetooth. And then Bluetooth and USB like hardwired are going to be typically a different report, right? In HID, right? And how it's parsed. So those have to be managed. The big thing for me was the multiple controller aspect. I didn't share my game at all, but You can actually go check it out if you want. It's Tandemonium. You can play it in the browser, even on your phone. Gemini.love. And the big thing for me was multiple controllers because I just put in like multiplayer, like simultaneous, and yeah.
So for the browser phone, did you use like the iPhone accelerometer?
That's right. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, of course. And that's where it starts with device motion. So I should have said that in here. But that's actually another library, right, in building for browser applications and using what's called the device motion library in the browser. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even mention that because that is very different and not at all the same as WebHID. Yes, it's device motion. So yeah, and there you're going to deal with more questions around iOS and Android is what you're going to deal with there, versus HID is all about Windows and Mac OS. Well, the browser, really. Yeah. Any other questions, comments? I'm all packed up, I think. I'll get out of the way. Hit me up. If you need that GitHub or anything, I'm all set. Thank you, everybody. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Still all you need.
Yeah, so.
And they're good. I was just offering you root topology as well.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do by hand. Can't really generate that much roll down.
Yeah. Lots. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Pete, for your presentation. I think we're going to go ahead and move on. We weren't able to get Kadeem today, so I think, Anthony, if you're ready. Nope. So it'll be you to help wrap us up. Was there anybody else today that wanted to do any presentations of sorts? What? Sure. Yeah. That'd be fine. Yep, that'd be good. All right, so Anthony, we've got an HDMI.
Yes.
So
Bring out the old computer.
Okay.
The old Mac. Before we begin, if anyone doesn't know about partner keymailer, please raise your hand. Partner and keymailer. If you don't know what that is, please raise your hand. Okay, keep them up. Keep them up. All right, for those who want to know how to promote your game, please keep your hand up. Okay, now for those people who think this cat makes me look taller, please keep your hand up. Oh, come on.
maybe a little bit. There's a button on top.
Yeah, exactly. If you were there to do a reference to the Shure commercial, but I would be dating myself if I did that. All right, let's see if technology's going to see if I get purple land or not.
Oh yeah, that's something we're figuring out. Little hideous magenta.
Do you want to use the table? You want to use this?
Oh yeah, Anthony, do you want to use the high top table?
Oh, that'd be great.
We just moved it for a second.
Thank you.
Since you're tall, that'll work.
I wish I was tall. All right, let me see if I can.
And if you don't mind speaking into the mic.
Oh, yes. Hello there, Radioland. Of course, how do I just mirror? Oh, here we go, displays. It's been so long since I've used macOS 10.6. Let's see, arrangement. Oh, thank you. Can you hear me? Hey, and Fit got rid of the blue. Okay. All right. Okay. I thought this was really cool, and I thought this is just the coolest thing since sliced bread, so I decided that, I'd probably share with you guys. But this is a service called Partner. I am not sponsored by them, but I'm more than willing to be a sponsor if they contact me. And this allows you to deploy your game to content creators on the interwebs. Higher.
Little close. Too close to the mic.
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3? Okay. So it allows you to promote your game to content creators, makes it very easy to get that to them, and then they can review your game, play your game, and then you can get feedback, get a nice review that helps drive sales. So, pardon me as I switch to the old man classes. First thing you got to do is you got to get your game up on Steam. So once it's up on Steam, then the second thing you have to do is you have to ask Steam for a bunch of free key codes. So I usually request about 1,000, and then you upload that into Partner, and then you pay Partner for a certain amount of hits. And this has a lot of other services like newsletters. There's a coordination with beta testers. I haven't used that. But the main thing is that once you get your key codes in there, you can go look for people who have similar reviews to similar games like your game, and then you can request them to say, hey, here's my game. If you're interested, here's a free copy. Please play it on your channel, your Twitch channel, and let me know what you think. So first thing you do, so here's my 2 games that are on Steam. So I'm going to select School Quest. And it will actually let you know when, it'll alert you when people start streaming your game, and it'll also let you know links to the various YouTube videos and the Twitch videos, although sometimes the Twitch videos do come down later, and then they put it back up. But it'll even let you know that as well. So first thing I'll do is I'll go to, not messages, activity. And of course, during the presentation, it's going to be really, really slow. Come on. There we go. Okay. So outreach. So you go to outreach, and my game's an adventure game. And one of the things that I'll look for is typical Syria games that used to be around. So I'll say, find me everybody that played Police Quest, and I'll have a list of all the games available on Steam. So you can select that and say, if I'm up, and then I probably have sent them all keys, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to find a game that I haven't sent keys to first. Okay, here we go. And so these are all different creators of different countries, different languages, the games they're playing now, the subs for both YouTube and Twitch. You also got TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook gaming. These 3 I never even see anything on. How many views for a particular game, what category they're in, and then over here, the reliability thing, I usually try to filter by this. Let's see if this actually is going to filter. Oh, yes, here we go. So this will show you how reliable they are with getting back to you. So when you send them a key, this will tell you how many times they actually will get back to you. And some of them, if you don't have 3 stars, generally you're not going to get much. But 1 or more stars, I've had pretty good feedback coming back saying I'm going to do a review. Now sometimes they'll commit to a review, and it's been about 6 months. I still haven't gotten the review, but you can message them, say, hey, what's going on? Here's a cheap book if you want to, get ahead faster. So what I'm going to do is let's see. Didn't bring it. Let me do this. Please Quest.
What about King's Quest?
I've already done all the King's Quest. Anyway, till Friday, I've done. There we go. So here I'm going to do. So once again, you got to get your keys from Steam, and Steam does have a similar service to this, but I've had no luck with this. This has been very successful. I'm going to select Steam. I'm going to say, I'm going to offer, and I have a customized message that says, hey, here's my game. Are you interested? I'm including a hint book and a walkthrough just in case you get stuck, because nothing sucks more than watching somebody play your game over something really simple. It's like, oh, she got it. And then you're like all excited. But sometimes some people just are completely stuck. So I started giving walkthroughs just in case, because then they're sitting there for 20 minutes trying to figure out something that I thought was really simple. So I'm going to offer that to them. It's going to send that out to 9 people. And there you go. It says 9 offers sent successfully. So then, well, like I said, when somebody picks up on that offer and starts streaming, you'll get notified through email. So-and-so streaming on your site. They'll give you a link, usually to their live Twitch feed. And then you can go back to, like here under the offered, you could see content total. Let's see. Yeah, so here's all the different videos that people have done. If we scroll down, this means that they've accepted that they're going to do something, but they haven't done it yet, if you see 0. So they could also do news articles. Writing is still popular. I've gotten good and bad reviews. Sometimes I have to translate it from Spanish. But then you could go and look at, can I do this backwards? And it will show you all the different videos that person has done. And then you can click on it and go straight to that video. Once again, the Twitch ones sometimes come down and then they repost it. And then you can, if you like the person and they did a good job, you can say they're one of your favorites. If you want to get a note for 1-to-1, you could say 1-to-1, or if they just did a terrible job on your game and they gave you a bad review, you could just mute them so you know not to touch them in the future. So I can go back to pausing there. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell me more about like the success you've had with it? Like how many items have you gotten on a single game of yours?
I would say about maybe 100 different videos, maybe 200. So once again, some stuff is live. I'll get to your question, and then it goes down and then comes back up. But the only thing I haven't been able to figure out, does that generate a sale?
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a hit or miss if that actually generates a sale. But you get a lot of good feedback, and you find a lot of bugs by other people playing your game.
Yeah.
So I'll watch the game and I'll take notes and then go release an update like 2 days later, fixing everything that they were running into. Like, oh, there's a spelling error I should have fixed in 5 versions ago. How'd that one sneak through? You get some very interesting people, a lot of avatars, and like, I never thought a half wolf / spider / blue person would be playing an 8-bit version of me. So it's kind of surreal. So what was your question?
Do you have to have a publicly available demo build to offer keys?
You have to have something up on Steam. You can give them access before the game launches. I don't know how to do that, but you can give them pre-access to play the game so they get like a preview version before it launches. Yeah. So there's a way to do like beta testers on it, but I've just put the game up, and then as people have found bugs, I've released stuff. Yes.
Does this also work for videos as well? Like, you make out a video, can you go to here and have them post it or look through it, or is this for games?
Well, I guess you could do videos. I'm not sure. So that's a good question. I don't know. Mostly it's to get people to get access to a free version of your game, and then they'll review it. Sometimes they'll put reviews also up on Steam for you if you ask nicely. I've gotten a couple of interviews from people as well. So let me go back to.
Question for you.
Sure.
I had read it could be just false, right? But I had read something about like generating a lot of keys like on Steam is like kind of frowned upon by Steam?
They want you to specifically mark what they're being
used for, and there's a bunch of rules like don't resell them.
Right.
So, but if you upload them on the partner, I mean, you can't use them. Yeah, I've had no issues. I've said, give me 1,000 keys, because partner gives you like 2,500 people that you can. Now, it does cost a little bit. Like a yearly thing's like $250. So, but I mean, you make that back in like a couple weeks if you sell your game. And there's a whole. I'll get to some other services here. Once again, I'm not a sponsor, but I'm more than willing to be a sponsor. I'll show you the campaign coverage here. So I've had a lot of success with Twitch, although I will be honest, trying to watch the ads on Twitch will drive you crazy. But it'll show you it'll always show the latest one at the top, and there's a lot of metrics. You can upgrade to get access to screenshots. Sometimes your game's inside of other review games in the video. Sometimes they'll do the whole game. Sometimes they'll do 5 minutes and they'll get bored. It ranges in the quality of the reviewer. I've gotten people from Italy, Spain. I'll get on there and go, I can't speak French, and then they'll start speaking English. So sometimes they do know a little English. I was just targeting English people, but other people around the world will love to play your game as well. And then let me see if I could find.
So are there translations in your game?
No.
Are they just okay?
No, but they know English enough to figure out what's going on, and some people, I mean, the best compliments.
Okay.
There's definitely I've had people from my generation who know what I'm trying to do, and they're like, "Oh my God, I remember something like this as a kid." I've also had people from the younger generation. They're a little bit lost sometimes, and that's why I reach out to them like, "Hey, read the manual first. That'll help you."
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually, when I first released College Quest, a lot of people were getting lost, so I put an intro text at the beginning and an update. And that sort of explained what you're trying to do. Because some people are like, why did you just dump me in the game? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I put some intro text and an update, and that sort of helps people in the future.
I had my high school AV teacher give me the School of Hard Knocks when I brought over an NES I found and played Maniac Mansion. I'm just like, I have no
on
idea
NES even.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your hardcore, man. That's like that. If without a mouse, that game's like impossible. So let me see if I can find something that is actually still available. Actually, somebody I enjoyed. Sometimes once again, your quality in content creators is going to range from I can't hear what you're saying and you don't know what you're doing to okay, you're getting this and this is exactly what I won't see. Yeah. It's like, nope, no longer available on Twitch. Let me go to YouTube.
Did you say it's more often that Twitch will bring their videos back down?
Yeah, after the live stream, they'll bring it down. Sometimes they'll edit and they'll repost it. And they'll cut out that section of the game. Don't ask me why.
Anything to mitigate that? Like if you say, hey, they did a great stream, I need to go in there now and grab the video in case I want to like promote it some way.
I don't know if you could grab other people's videos. I mean, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think Twitch also limits the number of videos you can have on your account. So I think some people get into the habit, who I follow, get in the habit of, it's down on Twitch, but I re-uploaded it to YouTube.
Yeah, and you'll see it up on YouTube later as well. Sometimes. I am not doing well with this presentation. Come on, somebody's here. Somebody's got something.
Oh, it's probably.
So here's somebody that.
And hello, folks. Before I click into the game, because it is loud as hell.
This was an issue because my game starts very loud, and so I'm like, okay, the next game I told David Graves, who's watching online, I need a very soft, gentle opening music. So because you can't get to that, change the sound till you get into the settings. So once again, good feedback
that you don't get until it goes live. It's like, oh yeah, and that part of it is OBS they're using, it's like they always have it up really loud. It's like, no, bring your sound back. So you got direct links. Like I said, you can mark people if you like them, you don't like them. I've even had, there's one guy on here who I want to say is autistic, and he spent like 4 hours on the game and would not give up, so I give him credit for that. Let's see what else we got here.
Can you tell, how long have you been using this?
I don't know, somebody on the Discord recommended this a year ago.
Okay.
So, you sort of have to go into it every while and find, I started out just finding people that just play like King's Quest or Secret of Monkey Island. And then I still have all these extra keys. I'm just like, all right, F it. We're just going to do everybody who plays an adventure game. And you can search for both people who featured it. I'm not quite sure. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure what the difference is, but you can search by people who featured it and the people who played it. And I don't know if that means they just played it and they didn't necessarily, like it says, has covered the game, has played the game. So sometimes people play the game, I don't think they cover it, so you can also do that. You can filter by a specific channel, a specific location, specific genre. There's a whole bunch of things and whatnot. So you.
Sources of community that people might create streams from and such. You on Discord for your game?
I have not gotten to that. We were just talking last time about making physical boxes, and it's like I can only do so much in one day, folks. But I mean, I would love to start up a Discord. I just don't have, there's a limitation of time.
So you don't have anything even the Steam community?
Well, the Steam community I do check in on because sometimes they'll post bug reports there, and I'll take those. There was the recommendation somebody said for, are you going to do Steam achievements? And I'm like, I never thought somebody would want Steam achievements in an old classic game, but that's a modern adaptation that people want in their games. So I had to add Steam achievements. I had to research how to do that, and that was kind of cool. So you get a lot. The best thing about this is watching people play your game, going through and finding things that you would never find, and going, okay, next version I have to fix that.
Yeah, let's change that up.
Yeah, so it's seeing beta testing in real time. And you get a lot of good feedback. Like some jokes really landed, some jokes they didn't land. I'm like, oh, I really thought that joke would work. And other ones I'm like, oh, that was the one you laughed at? So
when you released, did you release demo? Did you release early access?
My first game I did early access on Itch. And then somebody said you should put it on Steam. So once it was more solid, I put it up on Steam.
Yeah.
And then my last game I did both Itch and Steam sort of at the same time. Although Steam was a little bit late because they want 2 weeks for things to build up with your wish list.
Yeah.
So what I found is every time I have a sale, that my game sells a lot more when it's not on sale. That whole sale thing makes people want to buy more. So
it sells more when it is on sale?
When it's on sale. When they say sale,
right.
It's like, oh, I should get this now compared to, so you just run a sale all the time.
Yeah.
you get a lot of a bang for your buck. All right. That's it. Go ahead.
What does the subscription model like? You mentioned it was $250 for a year.
Yeah, let me see if I can bring up. They have. This is just one of their services. They have newsletters. I mean, you can, and I'm using a very old browser, so it's probably not going to load the graphics here, but they offer like reaching out to people for you. 215 or 219. It goes all the way up to 1400 if you want like the Cadillac. You can also do monthly. You could break this up on like a $25 monthly payment, which are for, let's say, I think one of these. I think I did this one here, the base plan for $24.99 a month. So you can, and the other thing is too, is when you release your game to Steam, other people will request to get a key, and they'll come through this because they've done it before. And so you'll see, they'll come to you and say, can I get a free key? And you can say yes.
through partner.
Yeah, for Pioneer. So they'll reach out to you because they've done this before. So you'll see one of the tabs is requests, outreach, offered. There's a whole bunch of ways that people can get your game. And actually, they will spend the team will actually assign you a rep, and that rep is more than willing to spend like an hour with you on the phone, walking you through this, giving you tips and advice. They actually they'll spend a lot of time for you because you're making them money, obviously. Yeah, Steam Next Fest I heard is a great time to put your game on sale because it gets featured. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of services of all of which I've just used the basic outreach service, which is it's worked out great for me.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Do you have metrics that show since you started using the tool to now, like how much feedback you're getting from the way that you're curating the requests from the streamers?
There are reports. Honestly, I've been so busy. Let me see if I can generate one here. Like there's the built-in Steam analytics do a lot of telling you what's good or not. There's a whole bunch of like wish lists going up and down, sales conversions from wish lists to sales. Let's see if this works. But this does give you a little bit of requests, your conversion rate, playtime. She's great. She did my game for about 3 hours and she was tired, or 4 hours. How long they played the game. So you could, how many people saw their stream, reach views. I mean, you can actually get a little bit of data from here from the reports. But basically, I'll go to the way I do success is if I watch it and somebody had a good time, then generally somebody's going to be a fan of theirs. And by the way, I never knew like how these content creators there's buy them a coffee, buy a subscription, pay to get a little bullhorn in the middle of the presentation. There's all sorts of fun interaction that I never even knew was in content creators. And they'll have a whole thing. Sometimes I will admit some are really, really overhyped up and whatnot, but that's fine. Golden Goddess, she was really good. Adventure Vault will run through the game itself and do a complete walkthrough. I've got a lot of people from them. So yeah, and here's, for example, this was like two people. Like the one guy is very quiet, and she's like a cat. And somebody somebody pays her $5 to talk in the cat, and she'll just be like meow 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 for 5 minutes and just playing her game. It's the cutest thing, but I guess it works. So yeah, there's all sorts of interesting things I just didn't know about. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, how is your sales on your games?
Once again, it's hard to relate to see what drives to the sales. But if my sale is on sale, then my game's on sale, it generally does pretty well. Like last week, I had about 20 different sales. Usually it's about 1 or 2 a week if it's not on sale. But if it's on sale, then it bumps up. I found the good price point is under $6 because anything over $6, people are like, oh, it's $5. I'll try it. That's the good price point for these types of games.
And just out of curiosity, I've never put anything on Steam, but what percentage does Steam take? Like 50%?
That is good.
30%.
30%, yeah. Okay. Each day I will let you choose if it's 10% or less, so you can choose how much you give to them. Yes, Steam's 30%. So,
how many wish lists did you have going in? Going into the release.
Well, if I try to log in on Steam, we'll be here for an hour. Let's say 100 start out the first week.
100.
Yeah. 140.
Yeah.
Pre-release. They want you to keep your game up pre-release for about 2 weeks before it goes live.
Right.
But like I said, a lot of people will wish list it, and then when it goes on sale, then they'll buy it.
Yeah.
Because now it's $4. It'll be like, okay, $4, I'll buy a game.
So maybe like 100 to 200
Yeah.
wish list is kind of where you were.
Yeah, and
I've heard numbers lately, like, and feel free to speak up what other people are hearing stuff. I've heard numbers lately like thousands, like 7,000 is kind of like a big number, like for like a release.
Yeah.
You know, but
your initial release.
Who am I quoting? Chris.
Yeah.
Chris
Kowalski or
yeah,
something, yeah.
yeah, some famous marketing gamer guy.
He does Steam Analytics. So.
Yeah.
Well, your initial release is always going to be like on the front page of Steam for a couple weeks. And so you get a lot of sales for that, and that sort of tails off. And that's when I usually ramp this up.
Were you on the front page of Steam?
I'm sorry?
Was your game on the front page of Steam?
I think it's like for new releases. It does show up for the first couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And then
I think they do that. They do that based on the user profile.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
targeted users now.
Yeah. If you're like in adventure games, that's probably showing up.
Yeah.
Or if you like this game, you might like this game. So another thing I did, there's a website called Mad Octopus, which is like Tinder for your game, which is almost got a spit take there. That's what I was going for. You go through and you say, okay, find me a game that's like my game. Swipe left or right, and then when you find a game that looks like your game or you would bundle well, you can reach out to that person. You can start a bundle in Steam. So I've set up a bundle with Couch Quest that's going to be starting with, I think, the Steam Next Fest, where basically both are games. You buy them and you get both at a discount price. Yeah. But it connects you with people and helps you plan the text, helps you plan the graphics.
What's that called again?
Mad Octopus. So let me .fun. I don't think it's gonna. I can try loading it here. But yeah, it's like it'll show you like it'll walk you through. Yeah, it's once again this is an operating system from about 15 years ago. So, but it was the only computer with the HDMI output. So, remember when we had that kids HDMI was built in right in the computers? Yes, that's not gonna load. But yeah, this is great for just finding other people to do a collab with. And I found someone else who had a similar game to mine, and we sort of did a bundle on Steam. So I don't know how well that's going to work, but I'll let you know. Any other questions?
Super cool.
Anything else? All right. Thank you for your time, folks. Appreciate it. Your court, sir.
Gonna say, so when I tell folks, they're always like, cool, I have a neat game idea and I want to build it and it's almost done. And I said, well, what's your marketing look like? Have you reached out to anyone? This is exactly why, because there's quite a bit of work that can be done in, the process of, or obviously like after, you put it on sale. So thanks for sharing that, because I think it's one of those things that you think about and then later you're like, wow, there's a lot of work that could be done.
Almost every day you got to log on for the first couple of weeks to look at stuff. So.
Yes. So thanks for the share. That'd be something to look into. Oh. That's Partner.
Partner. It used to be called Keymailer, so you'll still see references to Keymailer, but the Partner bought them out and then basically uses both domains. So Partner's the tool, but Keymailer was the system.
Okay.
So.
I'll try to be quick here, mindful of the fact I'm just a walk-on. So, first things first, let's see how good can we do in terms of sharing. Where is my mouse?
See a record?
Yeah.
Purple is my favorite color.
Alright. Oh, it's super purple. Alright, well that's going to be really bad because I was trying to do a graphics thing, so maybe I try unplugging, plugging it back in again?
Try it.
I don't know. Do the old Nintendo trick?
Yeah, super tall.
Let's see. So that'd be really, it's going to be really hard to do a graphics demo.
What is it on?
Oh, I was just going to show some progress update on my game here, but now I don't get anything. So apparently blowing on it was the bad idea. Oh, but fixed! There we go. Okay, all right, we're not even purple anymore.
It's purple on the stream now.
What?
It's purple.
Oh, good. That's fine. They should show up in person. All right, so my name's Charles Dickens. I enjoy failure. So I am making a predominantly multiplayer game. I'll eventually make AI for it if I get around to it, but until then, it's going to be, I'm about to start working on couch co-op multiplayer type stuff, but it's a kind of like a cross between Super Smash Brothers and bumper cars. And so it's really all about having people run into each other and cause chaos. So it's really got to be multiplayer. Now, as another thing that and this is just a little update here, so I've been working on the UI for a little bit now. Now, for reasons, kind of inexplicable reasons, I decided I really wanted to get kind of a neon look to everything. And so to get started on this, I'm just going to dive through, like, here's a real neon sign and some of the things I was trying to replicate. So let's start out with, obviously you got these tubes, right? Everyone knows about that. A lot of times they're over glass or right behind glass, so you'll have like kind of like a duplicated tube over here. You always got these electric gizmos, and you got some little disconnected parts here. So when you're building a neon tube, it's a physical tube. It has gas in it. Electrons have to go through it. So you can't ever have two tubes like overlapping or have intersections. And so I was like, all right, so I can do this, right? And plus, I don't really feel like I've seen too many games with like a really neon flavor to it. So maybe it might give my game kind of a unique look. So started working on that. And there's this whole other problem with color spaces. So like the big oval, if you guys have never seen this diagram before, it's the big kind of rounded triangle is like what your eyeball can actually see. This inner triangle down here is what RGB displays. And then on this one, I pulled this from a neon tube manufacturer. So these little stars are like some of their actual products. So you can see that those two triangles are not the same triangle. So you got to really fake it on a display. And so so to start this off, so I'm like, okay, so I want to try to do this with some layered effects. I'm like, I can get these tubes, I can do this other kind of stuff. So here's my base UI in theory. Okay, so we got this guy. And then I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to have those neon tubes, and I got to zoom out a little bit more here so I can get this whole thing on screen. Maybe I do F11. There we go. Get a little bit more screen going. So things to pay attention here is the tubes are slightly offset from the actual UI pane, so there's a little bit of a black outline here. And then I was like, okay, well, they also have a reflection, so I added in a reflection layer and then a glow layer, and then put the whole thing together, and I'm like, okay, cool, I got something. And go through and made a few other versions of it. So this is like dynamically recoloring it, so I can have like a turned on and off, turned off kind of style. So this bottom one is supposed to be turned off. And then I go to tweak this texture. So I make a new set of textures. I don't use Photoshop, but my equivalent to Photoshop that I use, it's got like 12 layers to build out all the things, and then I had to go tweak it, export the thing, and I want to change one thing, and it takes me like 2 hours to go through the whole thing. I'm like, this ain't gonna work. So then I start going around, I'm like, all right, I know AI is controversial, but I'm like, AI, what the heck should I do? And one of the things I'm like, okay, well, I could try dynamically generate, I could try dynamically generating these textures, but every time I've tried to do anything like this, it always turns into a boondoggle. And the AI is like, oh, don't worry, it's easy. Here's the starter script. So copy paste the starter script. 2 or 3 days later, it's working. 2 or 3 days later of having like my editor crash, all kinds of other bizarre things, hitting bizarre edge cases of Rust and Godot working together. I had a really fun error where you'd import this neon tube texture. It would work exactly one time, and then you do it the second time, and it would update on disk, and it would update some parts of memory, but there was like a dangling pointer where it would update with another thing, and it would just then crash the editor a little bit later. Just some type of bizarre edge case. In any case, eventually worked through all of that. It was super easy. Yeah, totally. Like I said, it was always a boondoggle. Every single time it's a boondoggle. AI says it won't be. Don't listen to it. It lies. So, any case, got through all that. Then I spent a couple of days trying to recreate this layering effect. Hit some more really fun errors here in Rust Godot land. So, for those of you not exactly familiar with Godot, in Godot's universe, everything has to be a node. literally everything. So if you want to have like 2 textures on your UI, those are 2 separate nodes. So for this thing, this is one node, that reflection's another node, the glow's another node. To get the layering and the compositing to be right, they have to be reparented. After a lot of futzing, I got something working. And then I go and rebuild the game, and it does a hot reload. Everything falls apart. There's dangling pointers everywhere. Everything's broken. So what happens here is, if you're ever going to do Rust Godot, if you ever feel like, again, I enjoy failure and I seemingly enjoy pain. So if you're in that same boat, try Rust and Godot, because Rust doesn't even know what objects is. It doesn't have any concept of object-oriented. Godot is completely built around object-oriented design. The two do not mesh well together. So anyway, so when you rebuild your binary, Rust Godot drops all of its like kind of internal kind of pointers. And so when you're working in the editor and you have maybe a hidden node to create some of these things, they just get deleted and turned into stray memory. Complete freaking boondoggle. Ultimately, I had to scrap all that. So I had this beautiful blog post talking about all the different layers of neon. It's all gone now. Can't get it to work. It's just too freaking frustrating. I just want to show here where I'm actually at. So I've got my game here, and now I've got all these fun little animations. Things kind of turn on. Pain in the freaking butt. I don't know if this looks like a couple of weeks of work, someone just pounding away at a keyboard, hitting every single edge case they can find in an editor, but it's there. So I had to make like a completely custom button implementations to get it so that way the highlights and all this other kind of stuff would work right. Trying to get it so that way this kind of neon theme kind of goes through the whole UI. If anyone, I'm not a graphic designer. I just like art stuff. So like, if you have feedback or ways to help me out on this, please tell me. I haven't gone through and reskinned all the buttons yet. But getting all these UIs, hopefully this helps, like I said, give the game a little bit of a unique look to it. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got. If anyone wants to share stories about suffering with Rust and Godot, I'm all ears. That's where I'm at now.
One thing the West will know what I'm talking about. Look up chromatic glow.
Okay.
Which is putting a very dull color next to its counterpart that makes things jump out.
Okay.
So look up, like you'll put a very bright purple next to a dull gray. What's a good example?
You're talking about color theory.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're talking about making it pop because of differentiates.
Right. You want to go like a very dark gray next to something that matches it. It's hard to explain, but look it up.
Okay.
And it'll make things jump out like Disney was very good at using that during the 90s.
I like using white highlights. That would be my personal take on it. I haven't studied neon too big, but I like using white highlights for reflective / shiny surfaces.
So this is supposed to be like bumper car. So it's supposed to be like the vibe that I'm getting currently is like it's 90s sort of. You go into the bowling alley with the carpet that glows in the dark and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm trying to capture.
I think what you have here does kind of help reinforce that. I guess the only thing that I would be a little concerned about, I'm not sure if some players might have a hard time still telling where your mouse cursor is. So you might have to do something to your mouse cursor in order to help it stand out a little bit against all the other visual stuff you have going on here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, make a neon cursor. I had not thought about that at all. That's thank you. Because that's a good point. I can't find it. If it's on the black background or whatever, I can't find it. So.
The button covers, I will say, kind of off that way with the mouse. When you're hovering over it, and it's just increasing like the on bit. Could you maybe also try adding like slightly tweaking the saturation of the button or slightly tweaking its hue? Because like, for example, as somebody who is like visually impaired, I can't tell the difference between hovering and not hovering when it's something else.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was so in the earlier version of it, I had like the extra glow layers. I only should try to do that, and I still want to get those in there. I need to figure out how to make that happen, because you're right. The visual, it's got to be at least usable, right? So yeah, I got to figure out how to make that happen.
Colorblind?
Multiple things. Like your logo looks excited.
Thanks.
It would look it. Like random kind of animations. Was that all dynamic, or is that something you like recorded?
That is dynamic. So yeah, so it's. Wait, how do I? Oh. So, and hang on. So you're.
Well, that's not a good idea for the next week's presentation. How to do your games for color deficient people.
Oh, for accessibility?
Yeah, accessibility.
I always like accessibility, yeah, because that's always a challenge to look at this
And see, I was playing a game on my phone called A Little to the Left, I think it's called. It's where it's like a puzzle game. You can kind of like put things in order or whatever. And they had popped up on screen something called, hey, we realize that this is all similar colors. Would you like to turn on accessibility mode or keep it turned off? And I thought that was kind of neat to kind of like allow people who don't really need it or whatever to say, no, this is fine, I'll play it as is, but then give the ability to, for certain sections, right? Because I think the challenge is we do want to support accessibility for sure, but maybe there's ways to do it in a way that is more of an additive, right? So if it's hard to read text or if it's hard to read something in the menu, you can just turn it on for that. Or if there's a certain level that you want to put it on, then you can have that little helper pop-up show at that point. But that might be something to consider too, is like, if you were to take this and remove all the color, or the contrast clear enough for someone who has, a variety of different accessibility issues, you could actually get in contact with a group called Able Gamers, and they will actually test your game for you and tell you feedback. They're a nonprofit. They're there just to kind of make sure everybody has the ability to play your games from a variety of different backgrounds, but we've worked with them in the past. They're pretty cool what they do. So,
And keep me to see that, because this is something that's like totally slipped my mind.
To think about the accessibility side, so I need to figure out how to make this solve that.
If you had to print out your game on a black and white printer, could somebody know what phone you're on?
Yeah.
I'll also throw out there other thing with the like finding place that will like test your game for accessibility. This isn't like super accessible to like solo devs or anything, but if you are like working for an actual like full-blown studio, and especially if you're planning to ship on Microsoft platforms, so either Windows Store or Xbox Marketplace, Microsoft themselves actually have like a whole department where they just do accessibility testing for like third-party studios. You send them your game, they do all the accessibility testing, they tell you what's working and what's not. They don't really give you solutions for it. You still need like an accessibility designer to actually like interpret the results. The other nice thing is that also, while they're at it, they give you all the information you need for compliance. We're actually like shipping on one of those platforms and getting it tagged properly so it shows up in search, and like it actually helps boost how they recommend your game, especially to disabled communities.
How did they?
Cheap to send it to them, is it?
Yeah, that's why usually reserve that device for people who are like working for a whole studio. I would not say it's a very solo dev friendly endeavor. If I remember correctly, the cheapest I've ever seen it go for is like 200-ish. But that was for a pretty small game, and on top of that, like, it wasn't like I was never part of that department or anything. I just knew people, and so there might have been additional costs on top of that that I'm just not privy to.
Otherwise, there's some checklists online. Yeah, that's what I use.
So you got that SVG.
Yep.
And then RGB, the animation just adjusts the intensity of each one on the thing.
It's a little bit more than, it's basically that, but like, so this was part of the AI boondoggle, was I have an SVG, and I want to import it in a certain way to get it
to look, to get all this other kind of stuff, and also I wanted to make my asset pipelining be easier. And ultimately, there's no AI code in this, because it gave me an example. It was, I have had to rewrite every single line of it 3 times to get it to actually work. But like, so this actual source image though, let me open this in the file mangler. So the actual SVG is this. So I load it, so I do my all asset creation. It's all in just raw straight line, like crisp lines, and then I go through and then do that other step to it to actually add in the bloom. Because even though Godot has a bloom, there's no way to say only apply the bloom to the UI. And so there is a way, but you have to do layered viewports. But then the bloom doesn't apply over semi-transparent pixels. So then, in my case, I have the UI of it going over like a star field. If I have the bloom going, then it just completely is gone here. And I just threw this animation together, but one thing I hate on video games is when you make me sit through the same long animation like 10 times. So on the second time you load this, I'll make it so this animation goes in like 1 second instead of 3. But anyway, there would be no bloom. And obviously I don't have any right now anyway, but there'd be no bloom or anything like that ever spilling over. So.
What's your graphic program that you were saying?
I was using Affinity. I liked them when it was paid, but they just got rebought out, and they just got bought out by somebody like a year or 2 ago, and they've done like no support whatsoever, and so I just assume it's dead now.
It got bought by Canva, and they've been moving more and more towards Affinity is now a
generation platform and not a actual tool set.
Yeah.
That's why you don't really see a lot of updates being
I think skateboard vectors are coming to thing.
Yeah, I just
I bought Affinity a number of years ago, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool, and I paid that learning cost, and I'm like, man, I don't want to learn another graphics program. I should probably learn Inkscape though, but yeah, because I know that's the real one everybody uses. But
Which one?
Inkscape.
Yeah, because
yeah. Inkscape is really good for if you need
like SVGs or any other scalable stuff, vector graphics. Whereas you probably just use Getrado or something if you need something faster. Yep.
Thank you guys.
All right. Cool. Anyone else? Ad hoc presentation? Nope. Okay. And that's okay, because we will have more of these. See if my computer turns on. Oh, I'm up. I think I pulled. Yeah, I totally did. And that's okay. The one last thing I wanted to kind of showcase a little bit is just to do a little bit of call out to our share your games. So while that's loading, just if you're curious, even for those of you who presented today if you have updates to your games, or if you just want a place or home to share, in our Discord channel, we have a Share Your Games channel. So it's like a forum card-based experience. So even if you have your own Discord, or if you're uploading to Steam or itch.io, either of those are fine. And like I said, we try to do our best to give you an opportunity to kind of share it here at this event, or if we're like on site someplace like GDEX or what have you, we'll try to share it there as well. So I want to do a couple call outs there just so that you get a chance to see that as I'm logging in. No, that is Link. But he feels like me in the morning. Yes. This is one of my favorite avatars of him. That's from Wind Waker, if I'm right. Okay. Here, while that loads up, I'm going to give it a sec. While we start to wrap up, just a couple announcements for those of you. Coming up in September, just as a reminder, especially for those who are jumping in online later, again, the couple of things coming up in September is our Prototype and Play is the second Friday. So that is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Game Arena. So be sure to check that out. That will be, it will be the 11th, yes. Oh, and that reminds me, I totally forgot about that. I guess these overlap. The 11th through the 13th is the Cleveland Gaming Expo. So that's a really fun event. It's similar to GDEX, just in Cleveland. Really great event. So definitely check them out. Again, that's September 11th through the 13th. Big, great game expo that they have every year. I always forget what time of year they have, but it's always like in the fall. So definitely check that out as well. We'll try to give that shout out as well. And then, like we mentioned before, there is the... Did I turn that on? Oh, okay. One thing I don't like about Razer is it's always trying to update. But we have our... there we go. We have our Game Jam coming up, which is September 11th through the 20th. So the 11th is going to be a pretty busy weekend. So definitely check that out. So again, September 11th, Prototype and Play at Game Arena. September 11th, the GDEX Game Jam, and that runs till the 20th. So even if you don't happen to start that day, you can jump in whenever. You do not need to come in with a team. You do not need to come in with a game idea. We will have a theme for that. And then it's all on Discord online. And then everything in terms of uploading the game is uploaded through itch.io. And the ratings at the end are done through itch.io as well. So there'll be a rating at the end. And then the Cleveland Gaming Expo is also the 11th. So what I wanted to do is just do a quick shout out to our Share Your Games. So a couple of the new ones, I saw Project E is a title that Blue Raven's working on. So it's a 2D pixel art game, Metrovania, and oh, that's you. Okay, did you want to talk about it? Because I'm just doing some new stuff. I mean, if you want to do more later, you definitely can. What I'll say is if you want to see some of the updates that you've done in Discord, definitely check it out in the Share Your Games. You can learn a little bit more of that. There's some video and some imagery and whatnot. So if you want to learn a little bit more, feel free to do so. It's not meant to say you need to present today, but definitely check it out if you want to see some information on Project E. So it's I'm just going to read your thing. It just says 2D pixel art Metrovania about exploring the ruins of an ancient decrepit tower of monolithic proportions and uncovering its secrets. So you find abilities and uncovering abilities like the axe and katana battle, frightening and anemic adversaries, and find the power lurking behind inscrutable walls of the tower. So definitely check that out if you want to learn more about it. We also have some updates from our friends So there's Roads of Jirard, as you guys saw. There's this card game, Life, Death, and the card game has been updated this month. Inceptor has always been there. We had a demo from Liam showcasing in our prototype and play this month. So he's doing more updates with that game. It's kind of like a top-down shooter space game. Obviously, your game. You did a couple little updates, just kind of like some shout-outs for Rosemary. And Toothtopia, I always say that. Yeah, and Titantopia. I think it's like a multiplayer first-person shooter, kind of like Counter-Strike-like game. This is built, the engine's built from the ground up, so it's its own engine. It's pretty cool to see. And then you have Lose Your Marbles, which I think is Blasio. Yeah, so he's done some cool stuff there. It's kind of a rolling marble game. If you kind of like do like Super Monkey Ball, it kind of feels like that a little bit. Shadows of Beginning. So Jacob had done a couple of things here. Sorry, my computer's popping up, so it's just like, hey, I'm up. Yeah, so this is let me see. Cryptic 4 Studios doing an independent game in Ohio for Shadows of Beginning. Is a dark fantasy action RPG built in Unreal Engine 5. So the setup is a 60-year-old great eclipse fractured reality that's left of humanity survives behind the Aegis hearth. So you fight your way through a corrupt world, climb through Adventurers Guild from nobody to legend, and rebuild the town of Novum, one hard-won victory at a time. The town's recovery and your own rise are the same story, so you can't fight one without the other. But essentially, it's a... let me see if I got like a little shout-out to their... oh, always got to do that. Don't know why. Yes, I know. It's kind of like a top-down, three-quarter view game. Kind of reminds me of Diablo. So it's pretty neat. Looks interesting. So definitely take a check out on that. I know some people were saying like, "Oh, this looks malicious." It's not malicious. I think Caleb, you and I kind of looked through that a little bit in this game, but I mean, I've looked at it myself. They're just promoting it everywhere. I know they had promoted it earlier this year. They're now promoting it a little bit more heavily now because they're looking to release it in Q4. So that should be kind of anticipated to be released soon. So definitely check that out. And then we have Cozy Cat Simulator, which looks pretty cool. So they're a small studio in Columbus, Ohio, focusing on cinematic realistic games. With some historical aspects. They have a few games coming out soon. So this is a whimsical realm of Cozy Cat Simulator where you step into the paws of clever cat navigating an abandoned Victorian world, engaged in delightful adventure where you must defend your territory against cunning stray cats or form alliances to establish a warm and harmonious cat colony. So this is where your feline prowess isn't limited to territorial defense alone, but embark on thrilling hunts for mice to satisfy your hunger and showcase your mischievous side of pushing objects off edges. The game boasts a variety of cat abilities, from stealthy prowling to playful distractions, ensuring a dynamic and engaging experience. So immerse yourself in the enchanting atmosphere with a captivating soundtrack that complements the mysterious and whimsical vibes of Victorian-inspired worlds. So this is a charming simulation game that invites you to explore the fine line between reality and fantasy, offering a unique blend of mischievous and camaraderie. Seize the opportunity to experience the world of Cozy Cat Simulator, where your feline adventures begin. So definitely check them out. I thought this was cute. I haven't bought it yet, but I think I will here in a little bit. But it looked kind of cool. Obviously, I like cats. I've got 3 cats of my own, so I think this will be fun to play. And they're here in Columbus, so it's kind of cool. Like to see some fun gameplay. But yeah, definitely check them out. See if that's for you. I mean, if with inputs of all kinds, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Yes. And hook up a DDR pad and see how far you can get.
It's called a human interface device.
I mean, yes, true. I think we talked about this before, but Mega Golf is still on the prowl, so to speak. So O'Connell's been kind of doing some work on this. So it's a vehicular combat forced into the mini golf genre. So smash a 2-ton metal sphere through buildings, over cars, and most importantly, into other players. So currently Mega Golf supports up to 4 local players as of Alpha 0.35, and there is a Kickstarter winding down in 9 days. I think that's already complete, if I remember right. So that might already be done. Yes. Cool. All right. So, yeah, so this one is complete. But definitely check them out if you can. There's some video and work being done periodically. There's some concept art. So you can kind of follow along here if you want to see more stuff on what they're working on. Looks like chaos. So, but yeah, definitely check them out. There's some conversations going on. So if you want to see more of that. And then, yeah. And then this is older stuff. So, yes.
Can you jump to the random channel real quick? Can you click on the item that is top of the box?
Which?
Come on, thing at the bottom there. That you click
Oh,
on.
this.
Yeah, so I have all these games, guys, that if you want them for free, I've got to get rid of these things.
Which ones?
Any, just first come, first serve message.
So, anything seeing these photos.
So if you want some games, well, how would they receive these?
Just message me, I'll bring them to the next get together.
So in person, you would give these. Okay, yeah. So those are you on stream. If you happen to be in the next event, we got Anthony over here who did our last presentation, willing to give these a new home. So, ooh, Shrek 2. Actually, the Psychonauts box would be pretty cool. I might grab that from you. I don't know.
My brother might go for the Left Behind one.
Yeah, these are great.
Except World of Warcraft and StarCraft, those are
Oh, Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yeah, you can have any of the Final Fantasies. I've never played those.
Okay.
I could probably take the Final Fantasies. They might help me make good use of those.
Okay. Just ping me on Discord, first come, first serve. Cannot guarantee if they've already been pre-registered, if that makes a difference or whatnot, so, but they're free, so get what you get.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so you've won some free games. Check out the random channel. Cool. Well, that about does it. So I just want to do a little update there. But yeah, thanks for coming out, everyone. Thanks for coming out to the stream. Thanks, Kyle, for helping host us. Thanks for everybody presenting. We will be here for at least another half hour, so if you guys want to hang a little bit, there's more pizza out there, I'm sure. Feel free to grab what you need to. Otherwise, enjoy yourselves. Make sure to pick up after yourselves, and otherwise, we'll get you in next events. So thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday.